everybody. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Welcome to Wednesday. I hope you're having a lovely week so far. We're here. We've got the microphone on. That's a good start. I had a puppy, but he left. And now that he left, maybe Miss Kira will come back around and get on my lap. She wandered into the office, and Moose does this thing sometimes where he's just standing in a door, and he's completely oblivious to the fact that he's in anybody's way. And if somebody, you know, if like we ask him to move or maybe Kira hisses at him, he'll just kind of look like, huh? And stay right there. So I had to encourage him to beep, back it up so she could even make it in here. And she's lurking around somewhere under the desk. Howdy, hello. I have coffee. I have comfy clothes. I have electricity. That's a good start. I wasn't 100% convinced that was going to be the case. We didn't lose power, but we had a real humdinger of a storm. So it was possible. If we were ever going to lose power here, it would have been last night and potentially this morning, but doing pretty good. Wasn't sure you were going to make it. How's the bomb cyclone? It was very exciting for me as somebody that doesn't own property, so they're not my shingles flying down the street. It wasn't that bad, actually. We've had, at least for me where I am personally, I can't speak for, I'm sure it hit a lot of other people a lot harder. But here, we've had so many windstorms in the recent past that, oh, my shelf isn't lit up. I wonder why it looked kind of grim back there. We've had so many windstorms just within the last, like, 2 weeks, like 2 or 3 major windstorms in the last 2 weeks, that any branches that were going to come down have kind of done so by now. So there wasn't actually that much debris from the trees, which is the real thing that usually takes out the power lines. So it was... The news made it out to be more exciting than it actually turned out to be. It was still pretty exciting. You know, the wind got a real good howl going on. But I don't feel like I've survived a hurricane or anything. Humdinger, underused word. Hearthstone is 75 American cents to play optimally starting December 3rd. And I'm trying not to overreact. 75 cents per what? Once per person? Per day? Per year? What are we saying? This is news to me. If they've ruined it for me, I'll be a little bit upset. Per game? Why do I feel like that's been mathed out somehow? Hang on. Can I just look at the news? Let's see. What are they doing? Hearthstone BG news. Announcing season 8? Maybe that's it. Heroes, minion refresh, damage cap update, more hero choices with new Battlegrounds tokens. Oh, I see what you're saying. Introducing hero rerolls. During the hero selection screen, you can reroll one or more of your heroes to get more options. Each slot can be rerolled once per game for 1 token per reroll. Gotcha. So, if you wanted to try to snipe your favorite heroes. I see what you're saying. Hello, Hazel. Hello, chat. How are you guys doing? Hello! Doing okay. We're keeping it together over here. I'm doing the weekly, the theater thing because I want the anniversary event tokens. I should probably do Awakening the Machine for the same reason. Just because I know I still need to get some of those tier 2 sets. But I mainly want to gather today, and I'm only here till 11. I'm doing a shorter stream today. It'll be 2 hours in total. And we're already like 9 minutes in. So I'm going to be leaving a little early just because there's a yoga thing I really want to do this week, and it's the only time I can possibly squeeze it in. We're going to give it a look. Best heroes? Because heroes are always perfectly balanced. Yeah. I've been playing a lot of BGs, and I appreciate the consternation. I don't think I'm going to be doing any re-rolling. I think 4 options is usually enough for me. Because I don't like spending money like that. If it starts to make me feel really gross if I keep getting like sets of 4 heroes. Sometimes if I get a set of 4 heroes and I don't like any of them, I pick something that I don't normally play and then I have a better game than I thought I would. You know, there's a lot of heroes that I kind of have written off that are actually quite useful in just ways that I hadn't quite thought of yet. So maybe I just need to be creative. Or maybe I could quit. That's another option. We could always do like, I don't know. Something else. Play satisfactory. Build the factory. Make the factory. Feed the factory. So the factory can live. I want to do... I was those 10 celebration tokens. It's just, you know what, let's just do Awakening the Machine before I like change my mind, you know what I mean? Also, I need to make sure I get my Weaver buff up before I do any kind of gathering, because I need my gathering speed buff. Very important. I was in Holy Spec because I was doing some Mythic Plus keys yesterday. I don't know, it might be my only chance to do them actually this week. I've got kind of a busy week going on IRL, but I managed to time a 10 Tierness Scythe for the season. I already had the portal from having done it in Shadowlands, but it's still nice to get it done again. And, no ands, that's it. I only need one more portal, and we had a stab at it, and we were really close, and we didn't quite do it. We didn't have another one that we could run back to kind of clean it up on, so I still need a City of Threads key timed on a 10, but everything else has been done. It was so close, and that's such a hard key for me to heal. I was proud of how we did, but it did not quite come together. I have a guild, so I don't really get guild invites in general. Been a while. Went on a vacation for a bit. How was your vacation? Finished all the War Within Renowns, and now they don't show up my rep panel. Like this one? That is weird, actually. The one that well, Severed Threads is still here for me, because maybe these ones. But yeah, I finished, Hallowfall, and it is gone. I guess maybe it only needs to be here if you're working on it? I suppose? Maybe that's a new thing that they're doing, where they're just hiding them automatically if you finished it? Or maybe it's an add-on that we have? I don't know, that's weird. COT is awful. I find the third boss, Coagulation. I might be adding extra syllables there, I'm not sure. And to some extent the fourth boss to be really tough to heal on Holy Priest. It's just, you're always moving and everybody's taking so much damage and it's just really, really tricky. I was shocked we even made it through Coag, and we had to do like a coordinated health pot hit for the first overlap, like the first AoE pulse. We all had to health pot that one to make it through that. Let's get that quest. Saga on a 49-month resub. Oh boy, time flies. You think it'd be cool if they ever had a 750 mount achievement? Sure. Don't have a problem with it. New patch bring new recipes for professions? Not usually. And if it does, it's not usually a whole lot. Generally speaking, your recipe batch is mainly expansion by expansion. They have added like a thing here and there, maybe like an extra transmute for a new mat or something like that, but for the most part, it's unusual to get your core things replaced recipe-wise mid-expansion. Found any favorite fishing spots yet? Not really. I do laps. It just depends on what's available. Oh, I'm in my spec that doesn't have silence. Oops, it is. Fury Forever, thank you for the 27-month resub. Happy Wednesday, Hazel. Good luck in your gold grind. Why, thank you. We're on 1 million, and then 53k is my current count at the moment. I had a gambit where I decided I was going to make Cinder tea? What is it? Cinder Nectar. I was going to make Cinder Nectar profitably, and I make a huge batch of it. It took me a while. I had to buy a bunch of water skins off the vendor, and you can only buy them in stacks of up to 20, so that was a big project. And I make like 2,000 of them, and I'm thinking, there's no way these are going to sell. These are going to plague my bags and mailbox, because they only stack up to like, well, they're stacking up to 30 here, but I felt like they only stacked to 20. Anyway, I thought they were just going to be a mess in my bags forever, because they are like the good water for this expansion, but not everybody knows that. A lot of people are used to just buying water from the vendor and drinking that. And yeah, I didn't know if I could offload them, but I did. I did it all in one posting too. I posted them all up, like 2,000 of them, and then I got gold for 2,000 of them back in the mail. And I was delighted because I did not want to have to. I was kind of regretting making them as I was making them. It wasn't a huge profit or anything. I was just glad to get them out of my bags. It was some profit. It was. I didn't lose gold on that one. Got the Awakening the Machine mount. I'm free! Congrats, Kyle. Got the Moth mount from the Ringing Deeps rep the other day, and I love it. That one's a flabby favorite. I see him on that one all the time. I need more resonance crystals. Maybe that's another good reason for me to be doing these dailies if I needed to further talk myself into it past anniversary tokens. And by dailies, I mean weeklies. Getting... These caches generally have resonance crystals, I think. And that's probably my best bet for getting enough, because those mounts are so expensive. Where's my... Those are residual memories. Yuck. Resonance crystals. There they are. Yeah, I don't even have enough for another mount. I bought the bee, and I'm saving up for, I guess, maybe the moth, actually. That was only 5 waves, my goodness. Stack it with mage food and regen mana super fast in dungeons. Well, look at this person with a mage in their group. Wow, fancy. Oh, that must be nice. Our group comps are like consistently really wonky, and we get 10s done and we have fun, and those are the only 2 things on my list. But it's really funny because we'll end up having to do, like, depending on who's playing what alt, we'll have to do drums for lust, or we'll have to do like the engineering battle reses. I have them on my bar because it's quite frequent that we don't have any battle res, so I have to like wander over there. And of course I have the copper quality ones because we cheat. And I'll like just be standing over there, I'm gonna get you back up eventually. Not optimal. I'm sure our buff profile. We have 2 priests right now, so we're doubling on. We have 2 priests and neither one of us are archons, so we have fort, but we don't have the good fort. We have 2 master spells. It's a bit of a mess. It works-ish. We're growing as players by overcoming these challenges. Or something. It's just fun to hang out with them. I do sort of dump for celebration tokens. If you have all the things, I think you're done. I don't think there's any way to cash them out for anything. Actually, no. Can you turn them into time walking badges? You might be able to do that. I heard something. I don't really know for sure, but there may be some way to convert them to time walking badges. Or want to buy buying stacks of them. 1 token for 20 badges. Okay, they do convert to badges. There you go. You're welcome. Am I going to get my fell cycle? I like the implication that I have a fell cycle and I just haven't like picked it up for the shop yet. No, it's an American. I mean, unless there's another one that I haven't heard about. It was like an American soda promotion. It had me written nowhere on it. I'm not in America. I don't really drink pop. And I'm also a little bitter about the monetization right now, so I feel like it was a triple miss from me. It needs to be 100 badges, 20 is so little, ton of clicking. Oh, there's a secret finding one. Oh, well, I haven't got that yet either. More up my alley. Less Mountain Dew involved, hopefully. I haven't done any of the secret stuff yet. The promotion one, I think they sold out of, so I think those are done now anyway. Thought in Blizzard fashion that you could only turn time walking badges into tokens. Oh, they're still working on the secret finding fell cycle. It's a massive undertaking. They restocked it! Oh man, did they go back to the pixel factory? What? Sure, why not? Whatever, you know. My goodness, got my bike this morning. We found a new seam of pixels to mine. It's just the only reason, unless your admin side of your giveaway system is really sucky, the only reason to have those sorts of things sell out is to just create more demand and hype. It's just bald FOMO marketing. If the only reason to limit quantity on something is to raise the perceived value of it. And it's one thing when somebody only like makes like X amount of shirts or whatever and it's a limited drop, and that's still bald FOMO marketing. But at least there is a truth that we made X amount of them and there physically are not anymore. You know, like, oh man. Me when I'm in Zereth Mortis. Hate the promo more than I hate a $90 mount. They're all pretty bad. What's going on with the purple motorcycle? I don't know. Somebody said that they haven't found it yet. I am learning everything in real time. I didn't know there was a purple motorcycle until about 5 minutes ago. Blizzard made a contract that said they'd allow X amount of redeems for whatever money. Sponsored company only pays for 10k mounts. They only get 10k until they pay extra. Gotcha. Is this week a week for learning? For learning what? What should we learn? Every week is a week for learning. You can't stop learning if you want to. Cough, good. Kitty cat in my lap is good. Enables you to fix the Shadowlands intro quest. I have so many Nathria tokens I can't hand in because my alt can't join covenants. Ooh, that's annoying. Vashkov, I don't know. That's a good question. Do you see they're adding a BFA meta achievement? Yes, I did. I decided to wait until the patch was actually like out to work on any of it, so I could track it in game without having to keep track of what they wanted externally. I could start working on it early, and there's an argument to be made for that, but I do want to do that. But it is later, although not that much later. Looks crazy hard compared to Shadowlands Dragonflight. Not sure. Didn't play BFA much. Some of the stuff I must have done already. Some of the stuff seems. I took like a squinty eyeball look at it. It looked all right. But that's mainly because I've already done Mechadon and I've already done the Najatar meta as well. And those were both really challenging. Not in terms of being, like, mechanically difficult, but just in terms of persistence and RNG. Those two patch metas were, like, very advanced in terms of persistence needed. They were hard. They took a lot. There was some really rare stuff you had to kind of get. So, that's probably where some of it's coming from. And then there's, like, some island achievements and whatnot. People buying 100+ packs of Mountain Dew and selling them out on eBay. Yeah. Gosh. It all just doesn't compute for me. And that's okay. It doesn't have to. If people are... I'm not here to tell people what they should and shouldn't care about. I just don't care. It's like... I don't know. It just feels cheap. It just feels cheap and cereal boxy. And, like, not meaningful or important or of artistic value, you know? Sounds like my legacy may have a lot of stuff to do. So much to do in game, can't keep up. Yeah. A lot going on. Oh, there we go. Well, we did this. I do want to make sure I get the things I want bought for anniversary tokens, but I refuse to do anything more than my weeklies, so I should at least try to keep up with weeklies. It's nice that they give you a big chunk of tokens for this now. I'm sitting on 35 tokens currently, and then we can go do... I mean, the Hellfall one... Actually, the Hellfall one, just to get the tokens, is quite easy, because then you just have to light the 4 key flames. We don't have to do all the quests. I do want to do them all this week to get my dozen or so chances at that Lynx mount that won't drop for me. You know, we always gotta try for that. But... Oh, yeah, we can get our tokens pretty easy, and then maybe go buy a couple more tier 2 sets. Have to get your wins where you can. That's why I buy bulk time codes and resellers. My goodness, can't believe I got them out. And the Scythe Mythic Entor still out here farming because I need the Druid Helm. My main problem with doing old raids for Mog is getting lost and spending more time than needed. I have no sense of direction. I understand. I've kind of bypassed it recently because I've been doing my runs with Flabby, and Flabby knows his way around, so I can just follow him. But I'm so used to, even if I raided through these raids, I'm so used to just following other people that I have no sense of innate navigation. And sometimes the maps aren't immediately obvious. Like, raids are notorious for having a map that shows you like 5 different paths out. And unless you happen to know, and oftentimes it's optional, like which ones you do. You can do a lot of these things in any order. It's normal for them to make wings that you can kind of do at your own leisure. But yeah, I hate it too. I'm really slow too. I insist on running on my priest, which is like the worst thing I can do. And I'm just running around with maybe an angelic feather every now and then. Backtracking and backtracking. The good news is that the more you run one raid, the better you get at that one. After running Nighthold for however long to get the Nighthold mounts, I finally had kind of like nailed down mostly. I had largely nailed down where I was going, but it takes me a while. But if I was just doing like each raid once, kind of randomly here and there, I would be doomed. I would be absolutely doomed. Invested in a speed set for my druid, and it has been life-changing. I am speed. Mechadon is terrible. Yeah. This is not what I mean to be doing. I mean to be just lighting a couple more keyflames. But, you know, we're going to do this eventually, so there's no harm in doing some of it now. There's a keyflame. Left, right, upstairs, downstairs, done. Is that a Konami code reference? Because it's shockingly close, if true. Guild downed Heroic on Zurich after 75 attempts. Wanted to hear your opinion on it before I write it off. Oh, congratulations on the kill. I think that's less attempts than it took us. I think we were past that point. It's a hard boss. It is for sure a hard boss. Furthering my feelings and how I will never collect it all in WoW, and that's fine. Wouldn't even be possible with how many things they remove and whatnot. Yeah. I've kind of arrived at that place too. They're gonna lose people with that, but I just kind of focus on whatever is in front of me that I can get, and generally speaking, it's almost nobody that has everything, so you can still, if you want, you can always reframe a goal as, I just want to have more than most people around me, and that's a much easier bar to hit. You know, just compare yourself to your friends that don't really collect much, and then you'll start to feel real good about your collection. Trying to keep up with the secret finding Discord is impossible. I think it's really cool how they can do that, like kind of crowdsource and synthesize information as a hive like that. It's like, it's awesome. I have 0% to do with it though. I would be no use to anybody. 300 people in voice chat. That would just short out my brain. I don't think I can handle. I don't even like it when I'm like raid testing with a guild that I'm not usually with, and they're like, there's a bunch of people trying to like supply ideas. I like testing with a guild. Like the one that I have now is pretty good, where it's like one person leading, and then like maybe every now and then you'll get like a suggestion or two chipped in. But when there's full-fledged arguments and theories being spun, especially in the PTR when it's like all completely unbased, it can be a little much. All the things can be overwhelming, but it's nice to see your DFA number go up. Did I light my 4 things? I did, yes. Okay, so I would have got this cache, which has my tokens. Or something, or maybe I got the tokens earlier. Yeah, another 8 celebration tokens. Good. So we're sitting on 43 of them, and we can head down to the next zone and go do the Weaver daily. We'll worry about these later. Who's more crazy? The secret finding Discord that figures out the most vague and out there secrets, or the devs that put them in the game? Just do the clues as they post them. I think it's nice that the devs have continued to support that kind of activity, because there was a demand for it well before there was like a whole official, you know, support for it and structure for it. And I think it's been cool that they've made these things. I haven't finished most of them. I still don't have my patty mount from the one that we did in Dragonflight. Did you get the Wraithbound Maw Rat? That sounds like something I might have done. Pretty sure I got all the Maw Rats. Wraithbound. Mossworn supply chest. Got that one. Check. Find Silken Court to be worse fight than Queen? Silken Court is a really scary fight if you're a squishy. Like a Shadow Priest. Whenever I'm on a Shadow Priest, I am terrified because it is extremely easy to die horribly on Silken Court through no particular misplay of your own. Other people can get you killed pretty quickly. And heaven help you if you try to help with the webs and stuff, because it's just... Even, like, I have gear. I have decent gear, and I'm still in dire danger if I don't disperse when I'm holding a web. And sometimes, you know, when they web you just as part of a mechanic, if I don't break it in, like, 0.2 seconds, I'm in danger. No, that's just a Royal Ripple. We're gonna go pick up our Weaver weekly and get it done. I don't even think we need to finish the bar to get the buff or anything like that. It's just kind of a nice thing to do. I have a rational hatred of the ads in Silken Court. Just the big beetles. They're funny because they're like such a non-issue, except that because they're so straightforward, they tend to get forgotten about, and then they'll just like be bullying somebody in, or, you know, you're trying to bring them to melee and you happen to be standing very far from melee, and it's just like a huge hike to get them into melee so people can kill them. That's fine. Doing a shorter stream, it sounds like? Yeah, I'm only streaming until 11 Pacific today instead of 12, so I'm going to be ending 1 hour earlier than normal. How many hours till Classic Fresh? Are you going to play? Are you excited? This map marker drives me batty because it's not actually there. I think it's over here. Ish. Yeah. There we go. It's just on the wrong spot of the map. I am basically done with the Weaver. I'm not completely done with these other two, but I refuse to give up the Weaver's Prodigy buff because it's 30% crafting and gathering speed for my entire warband, my whole warband. It's just, I'll just get the other reps done via the weekly and via, you know, like the spillover, like whenever you just get general Severed Threads rep and they just give you rep for everything. It's the only way I'm gonna get it done. Weaver is bis. Let's do a couple of easy world quests. I like filling up this bar in the simplest, hardest to mess up way possible. So this should be reasonable. I've not done any guest relation stuff at all. I haven't even started it. I have enough mining deftness that it's almost instant. Nice. It's be a Mythic Il'gynoth and Emerald Nightmare. Red Laver gave me special permission to not swap to the smaller ads because it tanked my damage so much. I love having these rematch teams saved because it means I don't have to mess around trying to figure out what I'm going to do in one of these pet battles or like which pets I'm going to use or even slot them in. It's just all saved. It makes doing the world quest really fast. One of the guest relations quests has you grabbing a one-time and then wait item on top of Kunlai Summit, so guess what people were doing? I mean, I'm sure not everybody was griefing. I'm sure some people actually needed it. Oh, were people lining up actually? Is this a cute story? I just automatically assumed that we were mad. That's me projecting. Were people queuing? I remember people, there was like an imp thing that dropped like a transform toy that you needed for some project or secret or another back in a couple expansions ago, and people actually made a nice line. No, you were right. People were trolling. Oh. What happened to the lining up energy? That was so cute. Form a lovely queue. Oh, the difficult to one quest set has you go nearly everywhere. People were stacked in big mount spam clicking it. Gosh. People were either all standing on top of it or trying to grab it or griefing. Yeah, I mean, if somebody actually needs it, I feel like you kind of got to do what you got to do. If there's no order in the land, then you just got to try to get yours and get out. But I don't know if there's any call for griefing, and it's just like they end up adding those things that let you not mount on top of stuff whenever people do that enough. And it just kind of feels like when kids at school are like so rowdy or crazy about this one thing that they just make a rule be invented. It's like we couldn't just be cool. We couldn't just do this normally. You had to get the teachers to step in. I do think I need to make sure I do the guest relation stuff. If I'm going to, I need to make sure I do some of it, or all of it, before the anniversary event goes away, which is not soon or anything. It's not for a while, but it's not a forever thing the way that like the Dragonflight secret finding stuff was either. There's a world boss over there. That might be good. It's got some Mog it could drop for me too. Or what's this one? That's the ring thing. That's easy. Interact key. Oh, for looting the thing, yeah. Been waiting until it was finished. 1725. Yeah, that's some time. Till January. Is there, I think I know the answer to this, but is there any time gating? Or is it something that if you wanted to, you could do all of it catching up in like one enormous day. I'm gonna lose my buff. Oops. Did it all yesterday. You can blitz it. That's what I'm doing. There's some time gaining. Well, it's contradictory information. Some of it's a bit buggy. Wouldn't leave it to the last day. Catch up quickly, except for one quest set that took like a day. Time gated to start, but you can catch up. Oh. I don't understand what that means. Oh. Okay. I see. So, like, when they were releasing it... Yeah. I knew that. I knew that they didn't release it all at once. I wanted to know if I could do it all at once if I, like, waited until later. Gotcha. I think we were just misunderstanding each other. Oh, no. My bee's tired. Tired bee. Sit down, have a drink. Have a rest. I'm gonna have some coffee. Guess what I did on my weekend? I took a bunch of video, but I don't actually remember if I posted any of it publicly. I don't think I did. Fishing. Close. Played WoW. Not even a little bit. Need that Cinder Bee map. This one is from the Isle of Dorn, Council of Dorn rep. Go on a hike with Moose? I did go out with Moose. We did a play date actually, which was very fun. Finished your masters. That would imply starting a degree. Oh, I wish I was that cool. Jeff was closest with fishing. I went crabbing. We went shore crabbing. We have a super secret special spot that I will not tell you where it is. Not that you would go anyway, but because we were convinced that we've got the inside info. We've got the good deets on the good spot. We got hand casting crab traps, and we went out there, and we were catching red rock crabs, like big ones. It was really exciting. It was so fun. We had the crab calipers to measure them with a little diagram so you can tell if they're male or female, because you can only keep, there's like a size limit and you can only keep males, so you had to make sure they were big enough and that they were boys. But we caught like 90% boy crabs. They must have been, I was joking that they were in town for like a crab podcast taping or something. But it's mating season, so they may have just been in town for the crab version of spring break. Anyways, we caught our limit of red rock crabs, and I did I steamed some, and then I steamed all of them. Like we cooked them all up. We got them cleaned and cooked, and we had a couple of fresh, and then I froze the rest. I vacuum sealed and froze the rest of them after they were steamed, and they were so good. They were so good. We were doing this, and I'm like, why have I been fishing? This is easier on my wrists. And I'm a little bit less cold because I don't have to have my hands out the whole time. And it's so delicious. The only problem was that we didn't have any crab tools to help like crack them or anything. So we were experimenting with various caveman technologies to get into the crab because they had pretty tough shells. And I think for next time I've got some crackers on the way. Crab, you know, like the nutcracker thingies. I agree. Orta, Broken Mountain. Crab Summit. They were eaten. They were consumed. The ones that we brought home were consumed. Those the ones at Red Lobster or something. You know what I realized last night is I was on my snapback scuttler and I'm like, this is a red rock crab. Because red rock crabs have like the red color in the back of their shells. They have the black tips on their pincher claws, and they have like the light colored underbellies. This is a red rock crab. That's basically what we got. With garlic butter. Precisely. I made the garlic butter. This is a dead boss. That's annoying. I guess he'll respawn, but like, you know, why? I'm joining a group with the intent to do the boss. Here we go. I don't have a regular nutcracker. It's not an item that I just have in my home. Oh. And it turns out dogs can have crab, but you need to be a bit cautious at first because some dogs have crab allergies. So what we did was I gave Moose like a little nibble of the cooked fresh crab. And we'd also given him a bully stick to have as his special treat for being so patient while we were out crabbing during the day. It was the same day that he had his play date, so he was exhausted anyways. He just slept while we were gone. But I gave him like a little bit of crab, and he has that, and he's like, whoa. And he like puts down his bully stick and commits like 10 minutes that he would have normally have been devouring the bully stick. Those are really high value for him. And he was like, listen, this thing can wait. I'm going to see if I can get anything else. He really wanted more crab. Have you been to spring break in Florida or some other place people go for such things? That's let's guess. Let's take a guess. What do you think? Also, I need to scoop the cat box. That's very important. One minute. Okay. All right, we did it. I don't even know if that counted towards the weekly. Crab is a delicious food. It was so good. I'm hoping that it froze pretty well. I was Googling all kinds of different, you know, ways that people have for preserving crab catch, because crab's something that, like, you need to cook it basically, like, very quickly after it's been dispatched. You don't want to have, like a dead crab that you then later cook. You don't want to do that. So there's different people will kind of have different orders of like when they cook them versus when they clean them versus when they freeze them, or like there's all kinds of different things that people do. So we tried this time around we cleaned, steamed, then vacuum sealed, and then froze. And we'll see if that's still good. If nothing else, I'm sure I can make like chowder and stuff. Oh, there's a bomb. I can go appropriate a skiff. That'll be good. 20% of the bar or whatever. It does count. Nice. So many people still in Zereth Mortis. Make a mukbang video. I am glad there were not really a lot of witnesses to me consuming the crab, because it was messy. I was like up to the knuckles, because like we didn't have great tools for getting the crab out of the crab. But it was really delicious, so it was very much a go in with with whatever you got. To kind of eat it sort of thing. Also, we had ordered Indian food because we normally we'll do something like that after we go fishing, because it's not that common, especially like this season. We've been just doing fishing trips where we just go and we spend some time out there and come back with nothing. And it was our first time crabbing, and I did not really expect to be able to get anything. Normally the first time we do anything like this, we're just kind of learning. So we had like a curry and samosas and some naan bread and stuff waiting for us when we got home. And we're like, well, I guess we can have this and crab. And steamed up some crab to have on the side of it. Eating crab is always messy. Yeah, it was. Works for crab. I have done that. Is drop the same one that we got with the Warcraft Direct, the 2 mounts? Yes. Yeah, it's the same drop. It's just available until like early December. Would like to finish all the Zereth Mortis pets and mounts. Genesis Mote Farm. Just do it 1 pet or mount at a time. Figure out how many motes you need for your next pet or mount, and just do that many. That's how I did it at the time. Is I just kind of put my sights on 1 at a time, and that made it very manageable, because you can easily in 1 session farm enough, like maybe a day, maybe 2 days, but like a session you can farm enough for a pet or a mount, and that way you're like making progress every time. Don't wait too long. With the Fell Cycle mount, it has not been solved yet. I don't understand. If it hasn't been solved yet, then shouldn't I wait more? Watched YouTube, got them already. Yeah. An extensive guide in obtaining every mount in WoW, or a detailed spreadsheet. No. No, because so many mounts have so many different things. The resource would be Wowhead. It would be look up the mount that you want in Wowhead, and then there will be extensive resources on a mount by mount basis. Thought it was solved yesterday? News to me. Great idea. Keep me from getting overwhelmed. Accumulating motes by running all the different difficulties of Sepulchre every week for Mog. Have we been getting Genesis? I guess I have a few Genesis motes from that. So there's an adventure cache. And then we did our Weaver weekly too. I don't know, go buy some tier sets, tier 2 sets. Two of the bosses drop motes. I used to farm them out in the open world in Zereth Mortis. There was a spot where the mobs would spawn really reasonably quickly. Ooh, also, while we're thinking of trinkets, I got a mythic changeling from my vault. My vault finally did something good for me. It's basically so late that it doesn't really matter, but at least I still have like a 10 left to do. So I'm trying to get that upgraded. Let's see, I have 59. I need one more celebration token. Maybe I can get it from like there's a daily or something I can do out in place. Let's go take a look. CurseForge, I click classic add-ons. It shows Kata. Does it also work on fresh classic? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head. It may have different options in the drop-down. It should have different options in the drop-down, because you'd think that those add-ons would need to be coded differently. Anyone know when season 2 is expected? Oh, they had a chart. I don't have it handy, but they did like a timeline chart that would pin it not to a date, but like to a season. I don't remember what they said though. I'm not very helpful. Did that spot all alone. Wasn't able to get a true hyperspawn going. Saddened by how many mounts I was lacking. If you want a guide on farmable mounts, what you do is like raid farmable mounts anyways, like raid and dungeon drop mounts. What I used to really like doing for that, and I'll show you. So we're gonna go to, one moment here, Simple Armory, and you can look up your character. When you first get to Simple Armory, it'll let you enter a realm and a character. So I would say I'm on Lightbringer US, and my character is Inksy. And it's going to show you your collections progress, and if you go to collectibles and mounts, not only will it show you which ones you're missing, and then you could click on any mount that you don't have, and it'll pull up the Wowhead page that then has like the information on what you need to do. But also, you can go to Mount Planner, and if you wanted to farm dropped mounts, it will tell you where to hearth and where to portal and what to run on what difficulty to get the drop mounts that you're still missing. So if you need a bunch of mounts from like raid and dungeon drops, this will give you a route that should be optimized for speed and stuff. I used to do this all the time. My list is a little shorter now because I've got a lot of them already. But that's really good if you're just getting started and you're trying to like fill out your mount collection. I like this website a lot. That is Simple Armory. Scoots with a 55-month resub. Hope the island missed most of the storm last night. Happy 55. Thank you very much. We definitely caught it. I was looking at like the satellite, and normally the storm was supposed to just go up along the coast, and we were just supposed to get whipped by the outsides of it, and it changed its mind and it decided to go right over us. But it was fine. Oh hey, if I fill up this bar, I'm gonna get 3 more of the things. That'll be good. I haven't started that yet. And then we will 3 of the things, and then we can oops. Buy an extra set. There we go. That's an easier one. And in order to get them, what we like doing, if we want to do it hands-off, we just go get in the basket and AFK. But if we want to do it hands-on, what we're going to do is we're going to get a pet treat. And then we got to pick a good pet. I'm thinking a crab. I'm thinking... What kind of a crab do we got? I wanted one of the plunder crabs. Like a glam rock, yeah. That's what I wanted. Anyway, I'm gonna, and then we use the mirror so that I'm a glam rock. And then we eat the zoomy treats with our interact key. And there should be a bunch in the mount area. And this is supposedly good for filling up your bar easily. Hello? Any bread? I love that they're tiny loaves of bread. That's hilarious. Like that was the thing. That is, you know, if your pet's eating some crumbs off the floor and getting little snackies, it is tiny, fully formed loaves of bread. Oh yeah, and then there's a ball. You guys got any more of those bread? Kiddo's school somehow in a pocket of kept power. Poor thing was so excited to play games today instead. Oh no. That's the worst. It's like when it's been dumping snow and then you're like listening to the radio and they're like, well, school's still on. And you're like, what do you mean? I don't even have power at home and you want me to go to school? That always sucked. That was the worst because you'd be listening to the radio just like hoping against hope for a snow day because like, you know, your power's out. It's snowing anyway. It's going to be really hard to get to school. But if school was running, you had to go. I did not watch the SpaceX takeoff yesterday. Hope Crusher is a fitting name for the Revendreth rare. That was quite the farm. I'm just gonna get in the basket because I'm pretty sure I'm doing a worse job of this than the basket would do for me. Also, I need to warm up my hands. My fingers are freezing. It's a bit cold in here. Now planar list is long. It's a fun thing. Should go for a good foot or two of snow. I run loops and eat them. Lots that keep respawning. I just want my sleepy basket. I'm not very good at this. This is too much work for me. Excuse me. Salty Inksy the Glamrock Crab would like a nap. Thank you. Try to get the Zoomies achievement? Oh, I'm sure I must have gotten it, because it would have been needed for the meta, right? No, that's just Pet Mischief. Maybe they didn't put it in the meta. No, you're right. There's a Zoomies achievement. It's just for 10 achievement points, though. 22 Celsius. Today it's 8, and tomorrow it's going to be -3 and snowing. That is a swing. Holy smokes. Ready for a good snowstorm? Haven't gotten a good snow in Washington, D.C. for years. Careful what you wish for. Oh, man. I don't know what the weather's going to do here, but, you know, one day at a time. I haven't decided if I'm going to bus or drive downtown today. I might try and drive. I don't think it's going to be that busy. Been snowing for a couple days here. I hate it. Love to see 12 inches of snow here in Oklahoma. When it snows, I'm going to be kind of grounded because I, at this point in my life, do not drive in the snow. I don't even bother getting snow stuff for my car. If it snows, I just stay home. I can hoof it places well enough that it's not needed for me to drive. So I do the world a favor and I just don't. But it means that when it snows, I'm basically just like hunkered down for a while waiting for it to melt. Because it doesn't snow that much in town. But I also would like snow for the sake of my doggy. My dog Moose loves it. Goes absolutely berserk. All he wants is to dig in a huge pile of snow. And it's just the best for him. So he'll have fun. Alright, I have 62 badges. So we could pick out another 3 armor sets. I feel like I should probably try to just get the rest of these collected. Because the other thing on the list, tokens-wise, I don't think it's going to matter. There are also these things, you know, like the swords and whatnot. And I do want to get those as well. I think I'll do those last. People are saying that it's pretty easy to get. Whatchamacallums? Tokens, like people are kind of running out of things to spend them on. I'm just gonna get any 3 here. I heard a weird sound, and at first I thought it was my cat wheezing, but she's right there. She's fine. Hang on a second. Never mind, not a problem. Are you in an area where you can get groceries delivered? Yes, but not during snow. They don't deliver during super harsh weather. So I just try to keep an eye on the forecast and make sure I'm really stocked up before snow hits. And I have supplies anyway, even if I wasn't aware. But I can also, what I did last time there was a really big snow event was I walked to get groceries. It was a bit of a trek. It was a bit of an expedition. It involved my finest winter gear. But we live close enough in town that we can kind of get places like that. So it's not a big problem. Hey, another set. And another set. And another set. Happy about that. We got our weeklies done for the week for tokens. And I have about an hour, and I would like to make some gold. I already used my concentration. So I think I'm just going to leave that be for the moment. Don't know if you collect titles. GM confirmed that they're permanent. Oh, that's good. I can relate to your dog. Dog would stay outside in the snow all day if I would let her. Only been one time I didn't drive in the snow. It's because my car was snowed into the parking space. Didn't have a snow shovel. Let him sleep in the snow, and he'll love you forever. I don't have, like, a yard or anything, so that would involve just turning him loose in the street. He would be, he would love me for the rest of his very short life before he wandered into a car because he's not real smart about them. Oh, he loves getting outside when it's cold, though. He's like 11% husky. He's husky adjacent. There was a husky involved somewhere in his family tree. Alright, gathering time. I have to go to the market prior so I don't starve. Yeah. I keep, I have stores of things like beans and chickpeas and rice and, like, you know, we get water and whatever. Like, I wouldn't starve if I was snowed in for, like, a week or two. I would get very bored very quickly of eating the things in my pantry, but I have plenty of food that it would be fine. I need to go up top, and actually that's going to be a bit of a trouble for me because my Hearthstone is set to Merildar. Because I need to do some gathering. I have Firewater and I have True Sight files. I just need, I want to pick up my weeklies, my gathering weeklies. Maybe I should set my Hearthstone. Now that I'm not doing the fishing tournament anymore, I think I can safely set my Hearthstone back to Dornegal. Let's, flight path it maybe? That might be faster than me just trying to figure out where I'm going here. There's a little flight path over here. I love the snow, but I'm glad I live in Cali where it's nice all the time. I feel like if I lived in a place with just the one season like that, I wouldn't need as many clothes. Because I wouldn't need, like, all of the different seasons worth of stuff. But, yeah, Dornical, there we go. I don't know. I would miss the change. I would miss the change all the time. Had a dog that loved to roll around on her back in the snow. A lot of Chef Boyardee in my pantry. There you go. Feel like everything still costs too much anima. Quite a bit. A lot of lake effect snow here. Heavy, wet, foot at a time. I don't have warm boots. I have boots that keep water out, but if I want them to be warm, then that's too bad. I just have to put my warmest socks in them and then try not to be out for super long. Because if it was really cold and I needed to go really far, you would be risking frostbite because, you know, you want to have something insulated there. Missed the change of seasons when I lived in Southern California. My wife and I were talking about our favorite season, and I came to the conclusion that changes are more important than the seasons themselves. I'd lose it in CA. That's how I felt whenever I used to visit California in the fall. Like, around this time of year, I would go visit for BlizzCon, and I would get there, and it would be, like, I don't know, 23 Celsius, I don't know, like, high 70s, low 80s, even, and sunny, and I would be like, what weird alternate universe? It felt like I was in, like, a snow globe, but, like, the reverse. I was in a sun globe. It just felt weird to me. It's not normal for it to be like that in my brain, and it made me suspicious. I thought this weather is suspicious, and I don't trust it. Muggy wet all year round. That would be very chilly. That would be very cold. Humid cold sucks. Like you as you well know. I want to pick up my gathering weeklies. I don't think I'm going to worry too much about treatises or anything like that, because gathering knowledge after a certain point is only kind of sort of helping. But it would be nice to at least get these guys done. There's a mining quest. I say pick up my gathering weeklies. I do intend to turn them in. 2 null stones. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? He is crazy. I don't even think I can afford that. It's like 1,000 gold. I don't keep that much gold on me. Oh. I'll probably actually send the gold over just so I can get it sorted. What does the herb one want? 1,000! Good grief! Yeah, for 3 mining skill points? I don't know about all that. 1 more copper lure drop and that'll be done. It's weird seeing a quest with a lowercase word. Gotta up your allowance. It's because she's a gathering alt and I strip her for parts after every session. I pick up all the gold from her auctions and I send basically all of it over. I should probably keep a little more here, but I just like condensing and combining it all so that I can feel like I have all my gold in one spot. Weird weather effect was flying from Tennessee in January to Argentina. Change in hemisphere made me go from winter to Texas-style summer in hours. What do you think of the new auction house map? I don't like it, but I'm saving up gold so I can buy it with gold. I'm kind of annoyed that they put better functionality on what I perceive to be an uglier and more cash-grabby Brutosaur. I'm not pleased about the whole thing, but that's what I'm saving up all this gold for, is to try to get enough to buy 6 tokens and do it with tokens. So I was busy bumping this up so we can get more null stones when mining Acherite was basically what we're doing. Extra skill and finesse, no problem. And then over here, I was working on irradiated. Yeah, may as well. Because these ones are all done except for Blessing Blossom, and we don't really care about Blessing Blossom. I would argue it's less cash grabby because 1.5 million gold and not 5. Sure. Ugly, poor Bruto. Yes, the poor 130 Canadian dollar cash shop mount. I'm gonna hurt its feelings. Having not used tokens before, how many would it take? About 6. It may be a little different depending on your region, what they convert to, but it should be about 6 tokens. And then the gold value of that's going to vary depending on what region you're in. Mailbox so OP, it's not even funny. Yeah. I was just going to send 2 null stones over is what I was going to do. That'll work. Oh. Gotta love buying mining supplies for your mining character on your non-mining character. There we go. How do you earn gold? Crafting and gathering this expansion. Sometimes I would do like auction house flipping and stuff, but it's been mainly crafting and gathering for me. In Dragonflight, I earned all my gold with crafting. You can convert tokens to Blizzard balance, and you can buy things in the cash shop with Blizzard balance. How do you get the Mythic Plus mount? The keys? You'll get a key. You can get your first key if you don't have any keys from... there's an NPC in Dornogal. Or the first time you do like a Mythic 0 dungeon, it's just going to give you a key. So you can either do that, or you can pop down by Mythic Aspirations here and talk to... Actually, maybe next door at Mythic Aspirations. Just down the hall, right? Yeah. Challenger's Rest. This one over here. Next door to the place where you upgrade your gear. You pop in here, and then there is a NPC that will give you a key if you don't have one yet. You can tell her you've misplaced your keystone and she'll give you one. And then if you run it and you time it, you'll get a better one. Or you can run other people's keys as well. The NPC won't give you a key if you haven't unlocked the key with another tune. Oh, that's rude. Well, I guess do a Mythic 0 then. 7 tokens if you take taxes in. It may be 7 for me as well. We have some healthy tax here in BC. Well, we'll just wing it. I'm sure 1 extra one here or there won't make a huge difference. It'll be a difference, but we're at 1 mil. We just need 1.6, maybe 1.7 mil. Oh, there we go. Got that done. That'll be very much worth the extra 3 points. A lot of deafness on the tree. That'll be nice to get. Okay, let's do our gathering. Where do I want to gather? I've got less than an hour here. I have been doing Hallowfall. Is today the day that I want to try and do the roots thing? Maybe. Let me poke around for a second here. Oh, I have 13 add-on updates. Whoopsies. Gather mate 2 plus roots. And if I don't like the add-ons, I can just take them down. Gather mate 2 data. Getting some add-ons to try and mess around with here. Enable the add-on use/roots. Create roots or import them from other users. Alright, hang on. So let's first of all reload. Well, my 7 tokens date came out. It was a war to be able to get them all since they were sold out of the auction house. Yeah. Found surprise taxes, had to add balance with real money. Over 1,200 IO, it's been hard getting into and completing 6s. After people leave with 1 wipe. It's a hard season for keys for sure. Especially if you're pugging, but it's always hard if you're pugging. Okay, so then we were gonna want to go make sure that we have loaded gather mate 2 data, and roots. And then we're gonna want to use /roots. And we can import gather mate 2 data. Should be in there already. I want the ringing deeps. Go to import data. Slash. Okay. And then... and then... This is riveting content, I'm sure. Okay. I don't really know why it's those ones. Because if I go to the... If I go to the ringing deeps... How expensive are potions to make? Need to find a bulk seller to make like 100 of the max level cave dwellers potion. Auction house prices is a lot of gold. Somebody that is... I mean, you could just do the math on the map price, but it's going to be hard because there's going to be crafting stats to take into account. Your best bet is to find somebody to talk to that's potion spec'd. And see what they'll ask for. The margins I don't think are massive on those kinds of things. It's not going to be a lot cheaper than auction house price. I don't think. I'm not 100% on that. I'm spec'd into flask crafting and not potions. So that's just handy notes. I can turn handy notes. Actually, we can, because we picked up the things. This zone has like those little tricky bait crystals, but I have 5 of them here, so I think I can just turn these in. I think it's like in the inn. We can go like downstairs or something and then open a chest, and then those will at least not show up in the map. Wasn't there like a... I forget where it was. I'm not going to do any gathering today, am I? Got banned from the WoW Twitch for saying you think they're viewbotting. Does that surprise you? I think that you can get banned from basically any channel by going in there and accusing them of viewbotting. Imagine showing up to like a sports game and just shouting that people are doping. They're gonna ask you to leave. Make them for myself, save the gold, gather while I wait for Q instead of loitering around. If you want them at rank 3, you're gonna need some skill to do it. I'm sure, and then you're gonna need maybe the right quality of mats as well. No, not grainy scribbles. I have handy notes on. The problem is that it's not showing the treasure because I've already looted it. But I've looted it on a different character, and I need to loot it on this character. And I forget... You know what? I can just look this up on WoWhead too. I just want to turn in the crystals chest so that the things don't appear on my map anymore. So if I look up the rough deep emerald shard, then WoWhead will have some coordinates for me. Rough deep emerald. Dusty prospector's chest. At exactly 49,31. Oh, this building. I always forget about this building. All the way downstairs. All the way downstairs. There we go. And that's it. It's like not even for anything good. You get like, I don't know, a couple of gems that you can sell. But it makes the thing not show up in your map anymore. People shout that at sports games all the time. You did catch me. I've never been to a sports game. I didn't realize how much, how rowdy they could be. What's the rarest mount you own? Apparently this one at 0.15%. These are fairly rare as well. Not everybody has these. These are TCG mounts that they haven't managed to give away yet. And then there's some of the newer rep mounts that just aren't widely collected yet. Oh gosh, well, okay, I did the one thing I wanted to do. Heard Ashdar was coming back early this coming year. Trading post. Mount Journal Enhanced has collection percentages. There's going to be a little bit of a delay on that data. It doesn't update super often, but it'll give you a ballpark view of rarity. My hands are really cold and my brain is really slow. Invincible. Oh, the mount that you're most proud of? Soaring Spell Tome, maybe. Doing all the Mage Tower challenges was very hard for me, and I did it. We had to really muscle through some of them. That was probably the hardest mount for me to get. Gas. Oh, it's the Ringing Deeps. Okay. Create route from data sources. No data found. I thought I imported all my data. Maybe I need to reload. I was hoping there would be a route in these places already. I don't know how to grab them. What endgame content? I like reading and Mythic Plus and collecting. Or probably, and then gold making. Basically everything except for roleplay and PvP. And even PvP I've done to some extent, but I'm kind of out of it now. Okay, so I was going here. No data found? No data found, okay. Alright. I thought there was like an easy import I could do, and there must be. Large circular path of exact route. I don't know. Let's just go in circles. Forget the roots thing. Let's just use. There's our true site. There's our firewater. And get on our nice little hippogriff. Go in circles. You know what's faster than gathering nothing is gathering anything. One hand, need the auctionist mount. The other hand, I don't want to encourage them to release more microtransactions. Yeah, that is a stumper. I think they're gonna do it whether or not you encourage them, because I think there's enough people that are up for it. But yeah, there's an argument as to whether or not you want to be part of the demand. However, I don't think, I think the only way to really vote with your wallet would be to just not play the game entirely. And I clearly don't care enough to do that, because I'm still here playing. Oh, okay. Duplicate this one. There we go. I like Steady Flight better. This is Farm HUD. Oh, come on, spider. I don't even have a pet out right now. Gosh. It's an easy mine, but it's a bismuth, which means that I want it. I also actually could overload it. See if we can actually get the node itself. And then we overload. Try and move. 2. And I'm getting out because I don't trust it. Considering voting with my wallet by not paying for 4 years anymore. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when they first added the Hearthstone Battleground Pass, and I was like, I don't want to give them any money for this, because up to that point I'd been playing for free, and you used to be able to do stuff with your in-game coins, but they made it so they wanted to sell you the pass, and they were going to sell it to you for 4 hero choices instead of 2, and at first I was like, no way, and then Flabby did it, and I was like, okay, I've been peer pressured. Nobody asked me to do this, but I saw one person do it, and I went, well, fine, I guess it's all right then. Because, yeah, love that gathering overlay. Yeah, it's handy for sure. You use this, and then you use your interact key, and you can gather pretty quickly if you're good at it. I'm only okay. I'm only all right. Sure, because I'm proud of myself. My A1C went from 14.1 to 7.5. Congratulations. I have no idea what that is. It sounds good though. Here's a link to Farm HUD if you're looking for it. Well, you know what? Our gold per hour is not bad here. We're already up to the base point that we were getting in Hellafall yesterday, or not yesterday, but last time that we were doing this. Oh. Diabetes. I gotcha. What is the point of druids now? Yeah, I don't know. We should just delete them. They've been outmoded. You need to have specialization points. A druid could do this without needing specialization points. A high mountain Tauren druid could do this with extra deafness. More drop. And this one. I think I'm just going to turn off the fishing tracking for now. I think we're just going to stick with the herbing and the mining. The moment they release Heronir, if I'm going to change all of my characters' races to them. All of them. I guess I don't know how many that is. It could be just 2. How was your weekend? It was all right. It was pretty good. We went crabbing from shore. It was very fun. We had some hand casting crab traps and we had a good crabbing day, and then we had some crab. Moosey had a play date. I did some yoga. I was like really anxious about it yesterday because I had meant to get up at 5:30 like normal, and I didn't realize that while I had set my alarm, I had at one point in my life coded that alarm to not coded, but I had at one point in my life set up that alarm to not go off on Mondays or Tuesdays. Because originally I wasn't going to get up early for yoga on my days off, but my schedule's kind of changed and I wanted to get in and get a session in early. And so I set the alarm, but it doesn't go off. And then I wake up like, I don't know, an hour and 15 after it should have gone. And I was like, oh, geez. Oh, man, I'm late. And because of the way the class is structured, I technically could still make it. It's like a self-paced thing where there's just like a window that you can show up in at any time, and then you go and you just do your practice at your own pace. And so I could still go, and I did, but the whole time I'm like, oh man, this is not the time I'm normally driving. This is not the time I'm normally parking. This is not the time I normally show up in the room. Everything's going to be different. I don't know how any of this is going to work. And it turns out it was all fine. But it was all uncomfortable because it was different. But I'm glad I still went, because it would have been really easy for me to be like, well, you know what? I've already slept in. This is already ruined. Never mind, I'll go next time. But I dragged myself up and I went anyways. And felt good once I was done anyway. Race change 4 of my remix characters to be Drakthir. Oh. Have any footage? Oh, of the crab thing? That's gonna be the next member video. For my YouTube members. It'll be out kind of at the end of the month. And I'm very excited about it because I took some what I thought was very fun video of the crabbing adventure. I had a really good time. It was a good day. It was very beautiful out there, and there was a lot of wonderful wildlife, and it was extremely windy because it's always going to be windy out by the water like that. And we're kind of crabbing on a point, so you get wind like whipping around from both sides. And of course it's November, so it's cold. It was very cold, and it was very fun. Too many characters. Already broke my promise of resisting microtransactions by thinking about it. Do you like Dutch Bros? I have had it before when I lived in Oregon. I'm back in Canada now, so we don't have it here. I'm more of a make coffee at home kind of person. I'm also not like a super, I can't do the really sweet coffees anymore. I used to really like them, and every time I've tried them recently, it just hasn't worked for me. So I'm sure you could order like a much less sweet thing, but what I used to get would be like a holiday contraption, and it would be basically just like syrup in a cup. And I enjoyed those days greatly, but they're not for me anymore. New haircut. Kind of. I cut my hair short just about 2 years ago, actually. It's been almost a 2-year bald hazelversary. Like that the hair near a thicker night elf. People must have listened to Eon. People might be wondering how Goblin Patch connects with the story. I saw people complaining about Xalatath not being around. I feel like it's fairly normal for an expansion story to have like an interlude with like other characters involved. It would be really boring if it was just the same villain in your face every single, moment from the beginning of the expansion to the end. Even during Wrath, Arthas was kind of getting memed on by the end for being just like everywhere. In like the different dungeons and quest lines and whatnot. And that was like, that was his expansion. That was kind of his big moment. Morning, Hazel. Good morning, CME Freeze. What else do I have going on? I made a big batch of chili, and I put some real peppers into it this time, because every time I try to put hot peppers into my chili to make it a bit spicy, I end up just making it not spicy at all, because clearly I have no good reading on how hot the peppers I'm buying are when I get peppers from the store. And this time I got an assortment, and I just chucked them all in there, pith and seeds and everything. And I thought, however hot it's going to be is how hot it's going to be, and it'll be fine. And it's actually very delicious. It's spicy for once in my life, but it's not, you know, like inedibly spicy. It doesn't hurt you. It's just like warming. It's very good for winter. And I have leftovers. Hope we aren't being teased and they do become a new playable race. Oh, that one is irradiated. I actually have an irradiated copy that I'm gonna run out of time on, I think. Yeah, I would enjoy them as a playable race. I don't know if I need it though. I think I'm always gonna be a gnome. Even if they finally give me what I want and they give me more options for gnomes, I don't even know if I would change any. I might be too attached to the way that I have my gnome set up now to actually like change, you know, like I can't change your hair. I can't change your ponytail. I've had that ponytail for a long time. And it has to be in the salmon pink, not the bubblegum pink. It's clone floater. I like their accent too. I don't even know if I'm gonna play hardcore. I usually try to avoid big organizations. I usually try to be on whatever the quieter server is, just because there's a bit less chaos. I have all my tunes as gnomes. Miss playing druid a lot. I found out that my friends are still waiting for me to make a Mythic Plus alt. And it should be a DPS. And it's not like a problem if I don't make an alt. Like if I really want to play my priest, I can do that. But there's definitely alt groups that would take my DPS alt if I decided to make one. And I was joking about making a goblin just to be kind of like on theme for the next patch. But I don't know what I would want to play. I need to look at some charts of like how different classes are doing. Because while I'm very much supporting playing whatever class seems fun or looks cool to you, that's the kind of energy I bring to my main. If I'm playing an alt, I want there to be at least a little bit of FOMO rerolling going on. I want my alts to be, they don't need to be like the BIS spec for Mythic Plus or anything like that. But it's nice if they're in the top half, you know what I mean? You don't want to like pick something to set up that's like innately bad at it. I need a short race druid, Volpera, Mechanome were such a missed opportunity. Can never go wrong with Hunter. I mean, I have a Hunter. I don't want to play this. This isn't a real alt. This is just for gathering. I thought I was going to want to play Hunter, and then I just didn't. It just didn't work for some reason. It's a fun character to fly around and pick herbs on. I'm going to go with these. That gets me skill and perception on irradiated stuff. And then for mining, we were still dumping in on the Acherite. I really want that 150 deftness node for Acherite. That's going to be a lot of gathering speed on those. Oh, my fish tracking turned back on. Arcane mage time? Yeah, I don't know. I had some vague thought about some kind of a warlock, but it's really hard to do an alt if you're just not in the mood for it. It has to be the kind of thing that you really want to do. Arms warrior. I'd love to know someone personally that plays WoW. Yeah, it's fun when people have like friend groups IRL that can all kind of like play together, because then you can do like, you know, like LAN events and raid nights and stuff. That Warlock T-Mog, though. Warlocks kind of appeal because they're cloth, they're ranged, they have a battle res, they're a pet class. They have health stones. They have a lot to bring to a Mythic Plus group. They have summons, in-dungeon summons, you know. Someone's really running late. But they're not always great for low keys, depending on what spec you're looking at. It's got kind of the Shadow Priest problem where as a dot class, especially because I was kind of leaning AF, you sometimes have the problem where you want ramp time on big packs of mobs, but I haven't actually looked at it in the recent times. This is not worth it. I'm just going to leave that note alone. Goblin Monk, Yoda-style acrobatic fight style would rock. Been playing my Hunter a ton because I'm mostly a solo player. Fun, missing Shadow Priest, I like dots. Get out of the spooky cave. Want to play an F-Lock more? Struggling to pick a race for one? Mostly just play a gnome and it's fun. But I'm not sticking with it. They have so many choices for race too. Like basically anything can be a warlock now. Yeah, basically anything. So you've got options. A druid named Halle Berry, Goblin Rogue, literally everything. Yeah, I couldn't remember if they'd ripped. I knew they ripped off the band-aid of Draenei, so I feel like if Lightforged Draenei can do it, then everybody else really should be able to do it. But I couldn't remember if that was actually true. I saw Lightforged Shadow Priest and it was funny. I want a garden. I want to plant vegetables. And I want a bird feeder. I want a little house that's nice and clean. Funny how much I don't care for shamans now that they're number one. Only keeping one shaman alt. It's nice to see Flappy get his day in the sun in his class. He's very funny with Tempest because like he has to... It's a very serious consideration for him as to when to pop your cooldowns. Not in terms of like when can I do the most damage, but when am I not going to pull aggro and die? Or if I do pull aggro, when do I have the room to get away or the defensive's up to deal with it or whatever? Because like when he has all his cooldowns up and he's got like Tempest procs, it's not an if he's gonna rip, it's a when. And like what are those mobs gonna do when they pull aggro? It's very funny. He does bonkers damage. This circle is from Farm Hut. I've never had that problem. I don't even pull enough aggro to need to worry about like what mobs my tank is targeting. I don't even stress about that. I don't even have a target to target. I just kind of like pick something and hit it for a while and then I tab and I hit something else. Happy for Flabby too. A lot of lore drop in here. That must be why people like farming out here. We're doing about 20k per hour in value. It's not bad. It's fine. It's about what we were doing before. However, I don't have like the route. It looks like as I'm gathering, I'm like getting data though, so maybe I'll be able to make a route, but it would probably be data based on the route that I flew just randomly. I do like that lure drops are large. It makes them easy to see. Oh, I didn't get that one. There we go. Flabby is an enhancement. In his wise words, quote, "Let Ellie die in peace." I think he feels about Ellie Priest the same way that I do about Dis Priest. Damn, 3 buttons and a macro for my Fury Warrior. If I actually played my class DPS, it'd probably jump 20%. Gotta fight mobs to farm a node, I skip it. Generally, unless I like get unlucky and I get kicked off my mount, or I do something really stupid, I can usually have the mobs hitting me and have enough deafness to get the node anyway. But I'm not always paying very good attention. Oh. Neltally giving out a gift sub, thank you very much. Oh, this one's tricky. It's hide. Enjoying my elemental Volparishami, but not as fun as enhancement. I like gold making, even when I'm not doing anything super crazy or original for it. This is just kind of relaxing. And it's been satisfying seeing progress made towards the goal. You know, when we started this, I had maybe 400, 500k. And we haven't even been doing it every day. And we've only been doing it for like maybe 2 hours in a day, sometimes 1 hour. And to see us, I mean, I don't have the gold on me right now, but to climb from that 400 or 500 up to like a mil, it's been kind of encouraging, you know? It's like, even though I'm not doing it perfectly, it's still working. It's working well enough for my goals. Goal should be, let's call it 1.7 mil. Maybe 1.75. Just to be really overkill about it. Because tokens to buy the Brutusaur, basically, is what I'm after here. That is Mica Bloom. That is not worth getting up there for. Flabby dropped the raid build. I need help. Get the flabby guides. Inflating, hitting the Hazel Gold grind. Taxes. I don't know. I'm just being generous. I don't want to fall short. Plus, if we have extra, we can put, there's other stuff in the cash shop. We can put that towards, there were other mount packs. Should we assume the Brutusaur will be around until the anniversary's gone? They haven't officially posted date for that. Do I remember it? Not exactly, but on the shop page for it, there should be a fine print telling when it's going to be available until. That's known information. But yeah, I think it's until like January. I think it's basically the same as the anniversary event, if not exactly the same. And we gotta get it done in the next month or so. You know, one herb at a time. January 6th? Would you say Holy Priest is still easiest to play in the current Mythic Plus season? No! I know I often recommend Holy Priest as like a learning class for healers, but for keys right now, it's dire. It is a very hard thing to do, in my opinion, because it's so reactive, and your AoE healing. There's a lot of situations in current high keys, or even medium keys, where you need to do heavy, sustained group healing, often while moving, and sometimes on spread targets. And you just don't have anything for that. Like, there's not a whole lot you can do except for panic. You need to be really tight about where you're using your cooldowns, and even like about directing your raider or your group members' defensives and stuff. Meaning like, hey, we're gonna health pot here, use your defensive here, because this is this is danger. You're in danger right now. And I'm sure it's hard for lots of healers. I think it's just a hard season. But yeah, I would. H Priest is not rated very highly. We're towards the bottom right now. I feel like healing's just bad in general. Resto Shaman, I think, doing alright. There must be like a tier list somewhere. Someone's got tier lists. It's Blessing Blossom. Aerithor Spear, we want that one. There we go. I actually remember to use my duplicate. Imagine that. Well, this is embarrassing. Basically unplayable. Well, let's not get carried away. I'm still timing 10s, and I'm timing 10s in a suboptimal group comp. Let's not call it unplayable. It depends on if you wanted to do what your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish. But yes, it is very difficult. Do you have panic down to spacebar or left click? Panic is actually voice activated. You have to start saying really distressing things into Discord. Start asking them if they've got their last will and testament written. Do you want me to give the eulogy? Cremation or burial, and then they'll start popping their defenses. Mistweaver Monk seems to be good healing. Keep running into the same one. Group heal and self heal. Yeah, gathering speed's good. You need to have, part of it is from this Dark Moon Firewater buff that's giving me 15% deafness. Part of it is from the Weaver buff that's giving me 30%. And then part of it is from just having, like, specialization points in the different things will give you chunks of deafness here and there. But yeah, my season consists of timing 10s and then I'm good. The only time I'm ever going to go past a 10 is if my friends really want to, and I feel like they're probably going to be all A-okay, all set. Not too worried about it this season. We shuffled our group around to just 4 10s. Because we did some of them with me DPSing and one of our DPS tanking and then another one healing, and we just kind of switched everybody's roles around to get a little comfier. Because I like healing too. Spider Mom for speed boost. So some of them have their speed boost maxed. It's kind of different on a node by node basis. If it's a node that really doesn't have very good value, I tend to not worry about, like, Iron Claw, for example. I've got no points in Iron Claw because Iron Claw sucks. So even if I am picking it up, it's not going to be as fast. But, you know, once you do Spider Mom and then Firewater, everything's going to be pretty fast. It's not a huge difference. You must be running with friends. Pugs would rather die than press defenses. It's hard to coordinate those kind of things if you're not in voice and if you're not used to playing with each other. We run the same keys often enough with the same group of 5 people that we tend to realize when the danger is. Especially if you run the same key back to back. You could be like, oh hey, I died in this pull last time. These web bolts are really dangerous. Let's set up a kick rotation, or let's set up a defensive, or like, this mechanic is targeting this player. I'm just going to pre-wings them, that kind of thing. It's a lot. It's fun to play with the same people all the time because you can kind of make those optimizations. And also because they're fun to hang out with. We don't know exactly when the next raid is yet. It'll be with the next season. Spring, right? Something like that. Not too far away. Gonna play Classic tomorrow? Oh, should I play Classic tomorrow? It might be fun to do a little hardcore. Just to kind of, just cause, you know, take a day off of my gold making. I don't think that a day or two here or there is gonna end us and our goals. Because I could just do a thing where I could just do hardcore until I die, and then I could just go right back to this. That's what I said last time. You know, permadeath, no starting over. Mystery mix, we guess February-ish. Iron Claw's not worth it. Finally watched some of the concert they did. It's nice. Nice. Really struggling with not being in the in-group in the guild I'm in. It's... yeah, that can definitely happen. I mean, it even happens in our group. Like, we definitely have different kind of chunks of people that run keys together. Because once you've kind of got a group that works, there's... you know, and you've got kind of a rotation of people you can kind of move in and out depending on who's available. There's not a whole lot of incentive for established groups to take new people. So you got to find the people that are also loose to pair up with and to get something going. But it can be tough because of schedules and whatnot. I'm quite nervous. I'm gonna do a yoga class that I haven't taken before, and it's a bit of a more advanced one than I had been doing, and I know that it's not a crime to be, like, I don't know, tired or behind or not keeping up in a class. No one's gonna be mad at me or anything, but I'm still a bit nervous because I just haven't done this one before. Turtle power. I don't know how many modifications that they offer. I'm assuming they do still offer some. They're probably not expecting you to do the full unmodified version of everything in the series, but it's still going to be a little spooky. I should learn a lot. Usually whenever you put yourself in a class that's a little above your comfort zone, that's when you learn a ton of stuff, and if you can just stick with it and keep going, you'll catch up quite quickly. It's just uncomfortable while you're still in that catching up phase. I remember the first time I went to the beginners class, the basics class, and I was all confident being like, oh, this is a basics class. I've already done like this little foundational thing. I'm going to know everything that they're going to show us. And then we did all the stuff that I knew, and then they were like, and now we're going to do these things. And I'm like, wait, what? Huh? I've never done this before. And I was trying to like, you know, learn it on the fly, which is part of the point of a class. But, you know, it's a little easier if you already know what's coming. And just like panicking, trying not to fall over, doing standing balances and stuff. But it'll be fine. I just have to go. It's normal to feel like this. It'll be fun. No one will be mad at me. That would be weird. It's not like a base camp with a sergeant, you know, it's just yoga. They're generally very nice people. Not universally, but as a rule, decently safe bet. How is this going? We've got about 14k worth of materials that we've collected. Which is not bad for the amount of time that we've been gathering for either. It'd be cool to have any race no matter what faction. I kind of do that now. Because, you know, you can join the guild and you can join the raid group and you can join the Mythic Plus group as whatever faction. The only thing you can't do is hang out in the capital cities. And then I guess like public stuff like LFR or time walking raids and whatnot. Not an advanced class. Those people are crazy. Sometimes I expect there to be a lot of gatekeeping in something, to the point that I've like already freaked myself out about gatekeeping that I have no evidence even exists. And then when people are like lovely and friendly and welcoming and just excited that you're there and learning, it's like, wait, huh? I thought you weren't gonna let me in. Boot camp yoga could sell. Oh, I'm sure. But that would be fairly dangerous. Something that's pretty important in yoga is if you feel unable to do something or to reach a certain stretch or a pose, is don't force yourself into it, because that's how you snap things. People can get really gruesome injuries in yoga by not listening to their bodies and pushing themselves past where they need to be. And there's no good reason to do that, you know. Sell it to the CrossFit crowd. That style of motivation works for some people. What's the add-on that shows the amount of gold? That would be Gathering Tracker. Gathering Tracker. I may as well have not installed Gathermate or Roots. I'm not using either of them today. I guess it's showing me like where I've tended to have collected these things. I could get a bunch of data and then I could have it give me a root on its own. Farm HUD is the HUD here. Navy boot camp. I did PT with Navy SEALs for a week. That must be it sounds like an intense environment. I have some catch-up knowledge here too. I think for gathering, for a while I was really keeping up with like my treatises and everything every week, and now with the way that they have catch-up knowledge available, I feel like it's so much cheaper to just like be behind by like a couple points a week and just get them as deep roots and null silk slivers and whatever, you know. And then you don't have to spend 500 gold per. Not that it's a lot of gold, but you also don't really need the knowledge ASAP or anything. There's not a whole lot of like really meaningful breakpoints that you don't get very early with the initial dump of knowledge. I should do the secret thing somewhat soon. Maybe we can make a couple of streams out of that, like catching up on the guest relations secrets. Gotta find the right time. Once they're all out, anyway. That'd be a fun thing to do on stream. I guess I'd have to decide if I want to like look stuff up or if I would rather try to figure it out on my own. Fun little quests. I never finished. I could still stand to finish the Dragonflight ones. There's a mount I don't have for that. Plus there's transmog, there's hats. I know I'm never going to have all the transmog in the game, but with the transmog farming changes, I wonder sometimes how much of like just bulk mog I could possibly get. And of course what I should be doing if I really want bulk mog is just farming the daylights out of like raids and dungeons that I need lots of stuff from. You know, go do Molten Core and get class sets, that kind of thing. But what I want to do is I want to go do the Azerothian Archives dig once a week to be working off that vendor, because that makes sense. It's not going to get you bulk mogs, but it will get you a pair of glasses. I started playing in Wrath of the Lich King. Wrath baby. Let's see. Is it possible to fish slum sharks from open water? I would assume so with enough fishing skill, but whether it's likely enough to make it worth your time is kind of sketchy. I betcha the fishing journal would tell you which zones can drop them. They have that info like in the in-game fishing journal once you've like caught some. What is that? Iron Claw. We're not even worth it. But if it's Ajkahet, it's very tough, if not almost impossible, to get enough fishing skill. I wonder if I did a Weaver line and I prioritized only skill for the Weaver line. I said no perception at all, let's do a Weaver line with only skill. If that would get you high enough to get just open water Ajkahet fishing without any trash drops. It might. Because I think you could do an extra 100 that way. I don't have 100 of those, but we could, if I did the fishing derby, I could get them. 300 to 500 right now without a hat on and any buffs. Oh, 300 plus 50. Plus 50. How do you get the plus 50 without any buffs? That's a lot. That's crazy. Oh, the Weaver line. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, that would do it. Because I can get 30 from the Ghoulfish surprise food. And then the hat's worth like 5. Yeah, it might be worth it. I have the acuity now to test it. I would just have to spend some gold to make the Weaver line, basically get somebody to make that for me. Do one of them. At least I have some threads, but I would want to only sync. I would not put any perception threads into it. I would do exclusively skill threads. Because if you want a perception, you may as well just do the perception enchant. I don't think I remember very much about WoW at all. I outsource my memory to you guys. I am queen of saying, I don't know that, but maybe somebody here does. And usually somebody does. It's gonna make the comment that your Wrath baby can now vote in Canada. Canada still has 18, so 2 more years. In 3 more years, they'll be able to drink. Unless they change that, actually. I don't know if they moved the drinking age. When I was young and it was 19. 3 threads away from 70 secret threads. Alright, I should start to think about getting these things posted and seeing what they're worth. It says about 18k according to this. Oh, not bad. Oh, not awful. To be young again. I don't know. I think I'm did enough being young the first time. What I'd love is to do middle age well. It would be nice if I could do medium years with some grace and wisdom. Hand on heart, do you know what a seeker thread is? I know it's one of the 2 threads you put in the Weaver line. I don't know which one it is. I'm assuming based on context that it's skill and not perception, but I don't actually remember off the top of my head. Well, not too young, yeah. The skill one. You missed out on spring break. That's not true. I got a week off school and I got to play my Game Boy. Taking trips for any kind of vacation was not very normal growing up. It's just not something that most people did. One person in the class would be like, oh man, we went to, you know, Costa Rica or whatever, and they would have a tan and we would all be like jealous. And that would be like for the year, you know? Angler thread is the perception one. Gotcha. Alright, let's go back up. Oh man, I forgot to change. I guess I'll post the stuff here, but I'm gonna set my Hearthstone back up to Dornegal. Because at least once a week I need to go back there to get my my knowledge quest. Whole week of Pokemon Gold would have been the one. On summer break, they had a reading program at the library. And I got to check out lots of books and read them and then trade my points for like bookmarks and stuff. I did not have Commander Keen. I've not heard of that. Too personal to ask your age? I don't mind. I have mine in the description somewhere. I'm 32. Generally with most people though, I would err on the side of not asking people their age because you're gonna find some people that would prefer that you hadn't asked. But yeah, I'm 32. Okay, let's see. These are worth about 1.6. We're getting the wrong one. Young whippersnapper. I do whip and snap. How do we do here? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Do I snap? Same age as my daughter. I think it's a good age. I'm generally satisfied with it. No complaints age-wise. I'm getting my gray hairs done early so that I can process those separately from like major wrinkles. I can get used to the grays now and then we can do the wrinkles next. And this way we don't have to do them both all at once. I have a decent amount of gray back there, but that's okay. I'm one of those people that started getting gray hairs when I was like 12, 14. It's just genetic for me. I just have, and I get more of them every day. What professions do you recommend for a main? I like alchemy, and then whatever you want to have go with alchemy. Sometimes herb. I'm doing enchanting this time around just because it's nice having double duration flasks. It's nice enough for me to do alchemy even if I'm not going to use it. But I also like crafting with alchemy. It's a great profession to craft with. $53 here. Cool. Had white hair since I was 16. Yeah, some of us are just lucky that way. That's okay. You can dye it if you want. I've decided to stop dyeing it so that I don't have to like do that thing where you're like you stop dyeing your hair and you let it come in, but it all has to come in at once. I'm just gonna let them spawn in one at a time. I want to see what those are all worth. About 19k, yeah, 19, 20k gold-ish, approximately, give or take. Oh, not too bad. Does slightly confuse me how many people get annoyed when people ask their age. Everyone ages it 1 year per year. A lot of it is gendered. Not all of it. I'm sure there are men that are insecure about their age, but often it's with women because you kind of live in a society that some people and some sections of society tend to write you off at a certain age and consider your value to be very tied to your age. So admitting older age can be an insecurity for that reason. It's not something that you kind of take in an isolated box. You got to kind of consider some other factors. Planning on playing fresh? I don't know. I might mess with hardcore for a second. I don't know what class on. Started cutting it with number 2, letting it only show him a beard. Okay, I am doing a short stream today because, like I said, I've got a scary yoga class to go be underprepared for. I am going to get ready for that. I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. I'll be back for a Thursday morning stream, normal time slot, 9 to noon. We might have a stream or two missed this weekend, maybe kind of Friday, Saturday, because there is some family in town and I'm going to be spending some time with them, so I'll keep you posted on that. But I'm definitely here tomorrow morning, so I look forward to seeing you then if you're around. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.